Embrace your superpower. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. This is Too Soon to Stop, and I am Dr. Diane. I am really excited and honored to have you here with me today. This message is meant to be both inspirational and informative. Let's get started. What bothers me most about myself has turned out to be my superpower. Growing up poor has taught me how to be resourceful, how to get creative in order to make it through life. I hated and was very much ashamed of not having a lot of money growing up. I would watch others who had more resources acquire materialistic things, and I would think of how unfair it was. Why them and not me? Not being able to acquire possessions that were being flaunted on my TV set made me even more resentful at times. I just did not like going without. I would ask my parents why we could not afford things. Their answers varied from "we don't have the money" to "we don't need it anyway" to "maybe someday." Someday never came a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong, we were never hungry, but did not have a lot of the latest fads and coolest possessions that other kids would have. I was repeatedly told that I needed to be grateful anyway. We'll just have to learn how to make money stretch, they would say, and get creative with how to make ends meet was stated repeatedly. Now, this allowed me to make it because I had to get creative when I was going through school. Of course, there was no trust fund and no rich relative to help me foot the bill of my education. However, without the lessons learned growing up, I am sure I would have given up as things got difficult while I was going through school with very little money. I would work an after-school job, making minimum wage, and would have to turn over my entire check to help pay for my tuition. Boy, that was hard, as I had no money, and then having to turn over my entire paycheck? That cut deep. But keeping my eyes on the bigger prize and the bigger picture is what made it possible for me to give my entire check toward my tuition. Had I not had to be sacrificial growing up, I am sure I would have given up and never been able to do this. My superpower is the capacity to think outside of the box to accomplish my goal, even if I start out with many disadvantages. Growing up, a woman of color has taught me the tolerance in a way I would never have been able to know it had I not experienced discrimination and misogyny. It also taught me how looking down on those who are different hurts and leads to a lot of dysfunction, both for me and them. Why? Because it forces the discriminator to really look at what they are feeling superior about and how it involves putting others in their place in order to maintain that superiority. It limits both you and them. I didn't realize this was a power I possessed until I got older. My very being threatened those who wanted the world to operate in a way so that they could feel better about themselves. It has shown me the absolute failure in underestimating others because they are prejudged because of who they are and not what they are, what their character represents, and not just the color of their skin. Talent is much deeper than skin color. It is inborn, inbred, and once it is acquired, no one can take it from you, no matter how they challenge their status quo mentality. My superpower is being able to believe that I too can achieve whatever I set my mind to as long as I am willing to put in the hard work. Growing up female, the second sex, has taught me how important it is to really speak up for myself and let others know what I will and will not tolerate. Now, speaking up for myself was not something that came easy for me because I usually wanted peace and would try not to be confrontational if I could avoid it. I very carefully chose my battles, but sometimes it is necessary to speak up in order to address an injustice or challenge a falsehood that harms other people. Speaking up and addressing the unfairness of situations has led me to be the doctor that I am today. As I would go through my education, certain people would try to give me failing grades because they felt I did not deserve the opportunity to advance myself. That's right, they would think that I did not deserve the opportunity, even though I had clearly earned the right to be in the class, paid the tuition with my own money, and put in the hard work to learn. They still felt that I should not be allowed to progress forward because I once again challenged their status quo. Who does this Black female think she is trying to accomplish her dreams when I have lived a life of mediocrity would be the mindset of the naysayers that tried to trip me up. Speaking up for myself in an aggressive and firm manner was the only way to challenge this unfair practice. I had to do this several times and obviously was successful, but not without a lot of angst and soul searching first. I realized it was not up to the discriminator to determine my life course. It was mine to make, and therefore I made it. Had I not challenged this, I probably would not have been in tune with the potential harm discrimination can cause. My superpower is being able to push past those who are trying to hold me back because of the way they feel about themselves, which has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with me. The fact that I am breathing air challenges them, and they want to put an end to the challenge by misusing their authority and power to do so. You know what is super sad? These discriminating naysayers have actually succeeded in some other individuals' lives to keep them from progressing. Because of some dysfunctional thought process stating that in order for them to be where they are, you cannot go where you want to be, they have successfully kept some people from achieving their goals, and because they unfortunately listened to the destructive naysayers, they didn't make it. The tragedy is that we all lose out because we know that they would have had a contribution possibly that could have made a difference in the world, if only. My superpower is seeing the potential in others and helping them to see how important they are and how much others need their contribution because what they have to contribute is much bigger than them. The world is waiting. Growing up in a government-subsidized housing project has taught me to see the value of community and why it is so important to seek out like-minded people who also want to get out of this environment and want to better themselves. With few exceptions, only people who are on the same path understand and can really relate. My superpower is my walk to success has been carefully done by looking for others who also want to challenge the status quo. I have learned to embrace my uniqueness. The unique nature of my character and my life's experience is what has made me who I am today. This does not stop at humans. It is also seen in the animal kingdom. Take flamingos, for instance. These magnificent pink birds prefer to live in shallow, muddy waters. That's right, they seek out mud. On one hand, the thing to think of is yuck, but on the other hand, it is a strength. These muddy waters are there to allow the flamingo to stand on their long legs in plain sight. However, it is difficult for predators such as jackals to navigate through this muddy water. As a result, it is a safe place for the flamingo to raise a family and create community of support with other flamingos. The muddy water is their superpower. It keeps them safe. Yes, it is dirty, smells bad, and creates a less than desirable environment for those who are clean freaks like myself. But it also provides amazing security in a dangerous world full of predators looking for an opportunity to consume them for dinner. Their bright pink bodies can easily be spotted by predators, yet they are safe because the predators cannot swim in muddy waters that surround these magnificent birds. I have learned to embrace my uniqueness. Flamingos are unique, and their uniqueness allows these pink birds to stand out in open and yet are safe from predators. By the time the predator have reached them, the flamingo's web feet have allowed them to run away and take flight. Appreciate where you come from and realize that you would not be where you are had you not had to face the challenges in your life that you have had to do. The Bible addresses challenges in Psalm 66. This scripture talks about having chariots run over your head. Wow. Who wants a chariot running over their head? This same scripture also talks about refinement. In order to create the unique you who can go through tough challenges, yet turn around to help others, you have to prove that you are tough enough and made of material that will not easily break, get distracted, kowtow to pressure from naysayers that want you to remain mediocre. This only happens when you have allowed yourself to go through challenges God and life has put you through. No one said it was going to be easy or without challenges. Learn to embrace the challenge because it is there you have and will find your superpower. Till next time, praying for your success and wishing you the very best.